Alright, here it is. Tilt steering column. This is part 2. We got it fully reassembled. We got the bad bearings replaced, got everything put together. It's spinning freely. It tilts nicely. It's ready to go back in the car. So if you're interested in seeing this part 2, alright, we're back at it again. Now it's time for round 2, part 2 of our steering column rebuild. This GM tilt steering column. It's an aftermarket column for our Tri-5 Chevy. Don't know what brand it is, but this is a non-metric unit, so it's from the 1970s is the model. Whoever this manufacturer was, those are the parts they used, and I know that because I bought some bearings, because the bearings inside of here were bad. So I've got some new bearings that came in. Well, let me show you what's going on, and we can go ahead and put this thing back together and hopefully get it all in one piece this morning. All right, so here's this morning's misery, all in a bunch of pieces. I've got to figure out how all this stuff goes back together, and hopefully I get it all back in the right order, because I don't want to, there's a couple of high tension springs in here, and I don't want to tighten it up and put it all back together and have it in the wrong order. So hopefully I'll remember and get it straight. So it's going to be a little bit of a fumble, but the first thing I want to show you are the bearings. So inside of the tilt mechanism, there's two bearings. There's an upper bearing and a lower bearing, and inside of here press the bearing races. So there's the outer race which presses into here, and then there's the outer rest that presses into this side too. The plastic that holds the ball bearings together here has got a little bit of a lip on it. So what I noticed is this track, it fits inside of there, and then when you put the bearings in, it locks these components together. So this should all be one unit like the new one is. It's like this. And mine were coming apart in a million pieces. If you've taken your steering column apart and your bearings are falling out, they shouldn't be. I mean, this is one of the indications. You know, I've got here, there's no grease holding this in. They all snap into this bearing holder, this retainer, this plastic piece, and then it's got a flange on this side that holds the whole unit together. So the balls snap on the back side, and the flange is on this forward side, so that it all locks together. So this all stays in one piece. So if your ball bearings come out and your bearing looks like this, time for a new one. So, all right. First thing I need to do is I've got to fasten the interior piece. I've got some Loctite. I'm going to use some Loctite. If you've ever had a steering column that's gotten wonky and wobbly, it's usually because these 4 bolts come loose. So 1, 2, 3, 4, they go in there. Then the shaft slides in. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right, I've got the Loctite on there on the bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. These clock themselves. You don't really need to do any guessing here, because these just, you know, there's only one way that this thing can go on, and that's it. See if we can get the bolts in. These are 6-pointed heads. Last one. All right. Yep, they're all tight. All right, the next thing I need to do is put the shaft back in. So now I've got the knuckle lubed up with some lithium grease, and it's moving pretty freely. So I'm going to slip that back into the collar. Easy as that. All right, so the next thing is to get these bearings pressed into here, and the flange side goes down, the bearings, the exposed plastic side comes up. So this one goes this way, and then when you turn it over, it goes the same way. So the two are opposite. See if we can't get this in without killing it. Ooh, that's tight. That is tight. You know what? I think I'm going to grant that a little bit of relief. I'm going to hit it with some wet sandpaper. All right, it took a combination of a 6-inch vise, the old race, a hammer, a screwdriver, some big washers, and it's just, you just got to struggle to get it without breaking it. So I managed to do it on both of them. They're spinning freely. So I think that's the hard part. Let me go ahead and continue assembling it. All right, for this next step, I had to put the tilt arm back on, because the tilt arm, it relaxes these two dogs that clamp into here. So that aligns everything here. I got both the bearings packed with grease. Now that I got this, let's see if I can get that in. Can't see. There we go. All right, that went over. Went over that. Now I got to get these two pins. Those two pins that press in like this. These are the ones that you pull out with a screw. And they need to push in this side and the other side. You get something to tap it in place. All right. I think it's lined up. Let's make sure. Close. Very close. That one most of the way. Off of it. Yep, I think so. It's hard to tell. There it went. Back off, get it out of my way so I can tap it. Now, all right, so that's reassembled. All right, the next thing is supposed to be this tilt spring that goes in here, and I should have it to where it's all the way relaxed, but there's a spring and the little detent that goes in the inside. So there's a little pin that rides on, and that just pops in like this, and then I got to compress that spring all that way. So let me relax this by tilting it out. Have it that way, and that'll give me a little bit less. And so now this little cup, this cup is supposed to go in and turn a quarter turn clockwise with a number 3 Phillips. And this is going to be a trick, because that is a lot of tension with that spring. Oh, not too bad. That was easier than I thought. Okay, well good, there we go. Let's see, tilt now. Now it's going to have a crazy amount of tension on it. Pull it. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's real tight. All right, so now it's neutral in the middle. My bearings in, get my shaft in. Now I need to go with the top side. All right, the next thing is the collar. So that's where the tilt mechanism, the tilt lever goes, which is going to be over here. So it tells me how to index this, and there's one Torx head screw that goes in here. It just slips on. And let's see. Should be one screw right there. Torx bit. Yep. All right, next is the blinker mechanism. And at first I thought I was going to be able to take this cable, this harness, and route it inside the tube, but there's no way for it to pass through here, so it's going to have to be underneath. I don't like it. It's going to be exposed. That's the way it always was, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little shroud of some sort for it. I can just pass this wire through. Coming through. Okay, got that through. And where does the lever go? The lever is over here. So I got this situated right. And there was a long, medium, and a short screw, and I got them in the order that in which I can see. Now I can see, now that the mechanism was taken apart, I can see which order they went. So the shortest one was over here, and the medium one, and then a long one. There it is. All right. All right, the next series is in this order. So the bearing is looking at me. So the race goes in, and this is an inner race. So the race goes this way, and then on top of that race is going to be this cup, and the cup goes down with the tongs pointing towards the cup, then the spring, and the horn button, and then the collar, and then snap ring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of 3/4 inch PVC, and where I got this off by clamping it, well, now I don't have to see that snap ring, so I think I'm going to trim a piece of 3/4 PVC once I get this assembled and see how long it is, and I'm going to use the nut and a washer to hopefully just press it right on with the using the threads. So let's get this assembled. First thing is the race, inner race. Drop that down over the steering column shaft. Next thing is this guy. It goes down like that. Next is the spring. Spring sits on that. And the horn, collar, and then take that snap ring out. And this. So let's see if I can get it indexed to where it wants to go on. Take a look at it. I don't know if that shaft is unique. Shaft is unique, and I got it. It's got like one little groove that's wider than the rest. There it is. So it's gonna be like that. Let me see if I can get it back on the same way I got it off, which is with these carpenter clamps. They're just a little awkward because you got to hold them in place, and it's just a pain in the foot. Alright, I don't know if I've got it deep enough. Probably not. Let's see, maybe the shaft needs to come up. Oh, it's oh so close. Alright, I got it clamped as tight as it'll go, but I cut me a piece of 3/4 inch PVC pipe, and it slips right over the collar, or right over the shaft, and then hopefully it's bumping up against that that C-clip. And if I tighten this, it should go. It should go. Might have to have something stop that from spinning. Alright, I put a vice grip on the other end to keep it from spinning. I got me a ratchet. Let's see if it goes. Oh, I just heard it snap. I think I heard it snap. Take these off. We'll know in a second. Look at that. Look at that trick. Look at that trick. Boom. Piece of 3/4 inch PVC. Snapped it right in place. Now you can't take it off that way, but you can put it back. Haha! I like that. Alright, let's keep going. Alright. Steering wheel adapter slipped back on. Let's see. That's the horn thing. Like so. And then the triangle, or the star, I don't know what the heck this is. This little adapter goes on. 3/4 inch bolts. Boy, it looks pretty. I'm gonna have to pull this off, so I'm not gonna, because I gotta get the blinker thing on it. So I'm just gonna kind of tack this just so we can take a look at it. I'm not gonna tighten all this stuff up too super tight. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull this off in order to put my blinker lever on, so I'm not going to tighten that up. That would be cranked all the way, and there you go. Let me clean up my bench and we can take a look at everything. All right, here it is, all done. Tell you what, it spins nicely too. It rotates quiet. You know, so that's all working just like it should. And then the tilt mechanism, which, you know, this, like, these are like powerful as can be. So let's see, it goes all the way that way, and then it goes this way. You know, you need the strength of the wheel on it, but it works. I wasn't able to get my harness back through here. I thought it did go there, but it won't. So I'm going to make like a plastic cover or a shroud or something that covers this back up, and I'm waiting for my wiring harness to go ahead and put that end piece back together. But, you know, bad bearing and everything. Done. That's going to do it. Glad I got this one together. It's one more step closer, so I was glad I was able to do it sequentially with the other one. But if you missed the first one, go check the previous episode out. The two of them put them together, and then you got yourself something. So I do hope you're enjoying the videos, and if you do, give them a thumbs up. And if you're enjoying the channel, I'd love a subscription. So until I see you next time, please take care of yourself. Cheers.